then being flexible enough to allow yourself to adjust. Your life changes when you have a child. You know, he's a different man at 22 than he is at 28. You can't beat yourself up for changing your mind. You just have to be thoughtful and self-aware of why you're changing your mind.
Sure.
Maybe the person you fall in love with is materialistic and you're just in love with him or her. You just are. You love them, you want to marry them and they love shit. So all of a sudden you're buying shit that you never bought before. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that as long as you're grounded into what's happening, right? Like you're super proud of yourself for never spending money on anything and you kept it basic, but then you fall in love and he or she wants fucking a fancy belt with the logo on it. You know, like there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Because I have my own versions. Maybe I don't want to wear fashion brands or watches, but I like buying custom Jets jerseys of random bench players. You know, that's a waste of $150 for a custom jersey of a guy who might not be on the team in 2 months. But when I go to a Jets game and people are like, you have a blank jersey? That's me peacocking that I'm the best fan. So it's okay, but what's not okay and what I'm trying to fix is you're doing it to hide your insecurities that you haven't made it yet. That's not okay, because you'll lose. You will lose. If you bought a BMW on money you don't have, because you want to look good amongst your peer set that you've made it and you haven't, you will lose. You will lose. Especially during this era right now where the market is good. If you're not winning right now, you really fucking suck. It's the truth. Because this is not fucking, 2001, this is not 2008. You know how many less people buy water filtration systems when the fucking market collapses? Less people. You know how many less people buy fucking cases of $4,000 wine like today is happening at Wine Library when the market collapses? Less people. You know how many less people are buying fucking homes? A lot less people. Real life. And like, what's so fun for me is this is 100%. I will not live the rest of my life in a bullish market and growth. So like recalling, like I can't wait to air this content the day the whole fucking world melts. And it's gonna be like, I told you so, and I hope you did something about it. Because now it gets really weird.
I heard you make that comment about student loan debt.
Oh God.
I'm gonna be so right about that.
Oh yeah. Right.
I'm gonna be so historically right about that. They're lending money to kids in huge debt. There's nothing else to say. There's nothing else to say. The banks are doing it again. This time it's not bullshit mortgage, things you guys understand better. I understand packaging up horse shit and not having a true recognition, a true system. They're like, you guys probably in the younger set, you guys know, you have friends or acquaintances who are $180,000 in debt on 9% interest, are making $47,000 a year and are buying expensive shit or have a new apartment.
Dude, that's true. It's true.
It's going to be so bad. What's gonna happen is you're gonna have when you really know in business, it's gonna be two things. Very early significant success and you're loving it for not the money. That's why all the other stuff matters so much. If you're not trying to catch up to Rick, if you're not trying to impress Sally, then the way you're gonna know is you love it for loving it, not for the money it's giving it to you. So many of my internet contemporaries, because I can't call them friends, because I can't be friends with somebody like this, love stuff because of the money. They loved affiliate marketing because of the money. They love network marketing and MLM because of the money. If you're the kind of person that's okay with like ripping people off for your own self-gain because you need the money and you're that insecure, I'm not gonna, who the fuck am I? I'm not gonna judge you, it's just not my cup of tea. It's not who I am or what I'm about or who I want to associate with. I don't care how fast your car is or how hot your chicks are. Just not interested.
It's gonna be fun to watch you.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I'm probably, because if I don't figure out what I want to do until I graduate, my dad's probably gonna pull my ears and put him in his business.
That makes sense.
Back in India. So
The good news is you don't have to go. You think you have to go. Because you're letting them have a leverage point. And that leverage is normally money, not love. Kids love to say, everybody comes up with excuses. Kids too. You love to say you don't want to let your dad down. What you mean is you're not sure how you're going to maintain a decent lifestyle. It's people's inability or want to pay the price for the big stuff. Which is crazy to me in college, because that's when you should find your homies. Like, the number one piece of advice I have if you're a winner is find 3 other winners, look at each other and say, 22 to 27, we're together. Let's fucking go. And now with the internet, when people are building businesses, you don't need New York or San Francisco or San Diego. Go live in Mississippi. Cost of living is low.
Yeah.
Go live right next to a fucking White Castle that you can walk to. Being serious, by the way. As long as you have internet connection, let's go. Like, I'm giving you my dream. I wish I knew that. I wanted to pay back my parents for what they did for me. It wasn't a drag. I signed up for going there for a while, building something for them. I like not owing anybody anything. And I love the feeling that my parents and I are even, which is a rare thing for a kid to say, especially with the amazingness that my parents are and what they did for me. We're probably still not even, because they fucking really did it for me. But I like it. I'm a hell of a lot closer than most people, because I really did something for them, for real. And so that's cool. So I like that. But if I didn't have that gear or that well parented, if it was fuck me, man. Nothing's more interesting right now than to go to Mississippi with my 5 college friends, and literally, there's nothing like building something. Like, it was much more fun before it was 6 figures. Those first few, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing like building something, right?
It's true.
Of course. This is all the burden now. It's so fun when you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You know? And you're just trying to figure it out, and you're just fucking ghetto to the max. That's what I want. That's what listen, I like Rocky when he's drinking the egg and fucking, like, I like that. That's why I want people to love the process. And it gets a lot harder to love the process when you have a husband or wife, kids, stuff. The big mistake is not the making of the money, it's the spending of the money. Never invest something you can't afford to lose completely, because then you won't have to invest, pull out, like, you won't get caught in the margins. Everything I have in Wall Street, which I don't trust those fuckers down there with anything, is completely predicated on I will never look at it for the rest of my entire life. Doesn't exist. That is why it's good to build a personal brand, because it's yours in any market, but it has to be built on truth and merit. And what I'm worried about is everybody's getting ahead, like, Gary, conferences, Gary, I don't have any money, I'm in debt. I'm like, let me, hold on. You're at $7,000 in credit card debt? Yes, what do? I'm like, the first thing you do is fucking sell the $8,000 suit you're wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was told that I have to look the part, just fucking.
Yeah, that's the other thing that scares me too, is because we've been just, as a company, people know us as a company, they don't know me personally because we have such a big team now. That's what.
Slowly, instead of fucking pizzazz on fucking Instagram, write a thoughtful 6 years into my journey piece on LinkedIn. Write a fucking post right now on LinkedIn tonight called 6 years in, or make it clever, so where I'm creative, like 365, 2,000 days into my journey. A manifesto, or when you're writing and you realize, wait a minute, I'm just writing about 9 things I've learned. So cool, 9 things I've learned in my first 2,000 days in business. Post. Link in your email bio, underneath all your information, CEO, co-founder, right? Slowly but surely. It's tortoise versus the hare, brother. Yeah. It's fucking as simple as that is. What's so confusing is I have the energy of a super hare, but the actions of a tortoise. I love how I think about the world, because it's in opposite direction. I just basically have talked about old school tactics, and my opening line is like, don't fucking respect the old school. But I do think that a lot of the advice, you said new, right?
Yeah.
They're getting advice from old school dogs who are saying shit that isn't relevant anymore. Right. They're just, I'm blown away by the enormity of advice that's like, I don't know, like I'm just like a lot of tried and true that isn't tried and true. The only reason they're getting away with it is that they built up enough of a base and a reputation. They're trading off their brand and their reputation, not off of their new tactics. But if you're new and you're 24 and nobody knows who the fuck you are, you're not trading on your reputation.
Okay.
So that's number one. Look, I think it's I think social media, AKA Facebook and Instagram, especially, but I do think LinkedIn, even in a real estate world, is really tricky, interesting. Google, YouTube, pre-rolls for sure. Like, if you are not a practitioner of modern day marketing, you are irrelevant. So I think you're in the business of being good at Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and YouTube, comma, real estate agent. And when you make that decision, I think that's true for all of you. Like, if you actually think you're a marketing company for your company first, whether you then go hire somebody to do it because you've become educated and somebody can't rip you off, or you actually fall in love with it and do it in parallel, or what I'm starting to see from people is I taught them to do it, they got good at it, and you know what happens. You know, you're here, you're living it already. Then people want to pay you to do it for them. All of a sudden, you build a $15 million agency for plumbers to market their business. I mean, it's real life, and that's where people struggle with, do I stay the course of my business? Do I become the personality and make money that way, or do I start a service business for that? Well, I'm sure this is run through everybody's listening around, there's, you know, so, I mean, I chose, you know, it's funny, I chose to do it in a very weird way. I chose to do it. I built Wine Library based on the machine that is VaynerMedia, but I'm not trying to build VaynerMedia, I'm trying to build VaynerMedia to then go back and build businesses on the back of it.
Right. Which is genius.
Right, you see where I'm going?
Yeah.
I did it, then I built a service business for it with the idea then to make it so at scale that I could do it bigger, badder than ever. That I could buy Schweppes for 200 million and then make everybody in America drink ginger ale because I'm gonna get Lil Yachty and Instagram models drinking Schweppes. And Schweppes will have the best voice app. And there'll be pre-rolled Schweppes ads for direct to consumer because you once searched ginger ale on Google and now you're watching a fishing video.